Grey Fire pupils, the next part, reconciliation, and this time linear reconciliations, which will be by far the most common that you'll come across. Okay, so a linear reconciliation, again using the terminology as we covered previously, will look like that. Okay, so we have the next term in the sequence is A times the previous term plus B. Okay, so that next term in the sequence can be whatever value, whatever part of the sequence might be near the beginning. We might be talking about the first term is equal to A times the U naught value plus B, or it could be the 20th term is A times the 19th term plus B. Okay, that really depends. It's general for the whole sequence. Okay, where A and B are real numbers and U naught is stated. Okay, so we would look for a U naught value to be able to work out particular terms. In a type of question later on in the topic, you actually don't need the starting value, okay, because you're looking at the sequence as a whole. So a couple of examples and the type of questions that you can be asked. Okay, number one, a sequence is defined by the reconciliation as the next term in the sequence is equal to 0.4 times the previous term plus 12. Okay, and you have a U naught, you have a starting value of 40. So in part A, you're wanting to work out the value of U3. Okay, and again, I'm going to set this up on my calculator and I'll talk you through as much as I possibly can. Let's have my U naught value written to begin with, because that starts what my sequence is going to look like. And my U1, my first value in my sequence, is going to be 0.4 times my U naught value plus 12. So 0.4 times 40 plus 12, and that's equal to, so let's set this up in my calculator. So I'm going to press 40, because that's my starting value, and then I'm going to press the equals button. So I've got 40 stored within my calculator. So my U1 value is going to be my answer times by 0.4 plus 12. So in my sharp calculator, it's alpha equals, I have answer written, times 0.4 plus 12. Okay, I'll write those very, very tightly like that. It just kind of shows that's the buttons that I've pressed. And I press equals, and I get a value of 28. U2 is 0.4 times by U1 plus 12. So 0.4 times by 28 plus 12, which is equal to, and again, this is my calculator. I'm not actually writing this down usually. I'm just going to press equals. And if I press one button, equals, that 28 turns into 23.2. And then the third, the value that they're looking for, 0.4 times by U2 plus 12. So 0.4 times by 23.2 plus 12 is equal to, so my U3 value, all I have to press in my calculator is the equals button. 21.28. So as it states, we'll calculate the value of U3. U3 is 21.28. Okay, working wise, obviously this bit under calculator, the bit in black and blue, that's not shown. The bit in red would probably be quite fair when you ask for just a few terms, U1, U2, U3. Okay, once you get a pattern, which you'll see in part B, you've shown your knowledge of that you understand reconciliation. You don't really need to show any of the working. You've got your calculator set up, so all you're really going to do is press the button and calculate the value as you go. Okay, and that's you recording essentially your working. The fact that you've shown each of these lines here shows that you understand what a reconciliation is meaning. So part B, what is the smallest value of n which un is less than 20.2? Okay, so I'm really just going to continue my sequence on. U3 is equal to 21.28. Okay, ultimately, if I just press equals in my calculator, I get my U4 value, 20.512. That's still greater than 20.2, so that's actually no use. U5, is that going to get underneath 20.2 if I press equals? According to my calculator, no, because it's 20.2048, so it's ever so slightly greater, but I'm pretty sure if I press my equals one more time, I'm going to get a U6 value of 20.08192. Okay, so that's certainly underneath my aim of the 20.2. Okay, so it's the smallest value of n, which un is equal to, which un is less than 20.2. So for the un to be less than 20.2, the smallest value of n is n equals to 6. Okay, and as I say, if I continue press equals, 20.032, 20.013, etc, etc, that just keeps going smaller, smaller and smaller. Okay, working wise, the fact my part A is shown, I know already how to use a reconciliation, that's more than appropriate to be able to work out my values for part B. Okay, and 2, so a wee bit of context, which is very common when we deal with the reconciliations. The number of fish in a loch decreases by 30% each year due to pollution. Each year, 12,000 fish are produced. The initial population is 20,000. So that's a lot. That's all the information that you require. If we actually look at it, we have 3 values. And I need to take that information and actually determine what that actually means. Okay, first and foremost, that 30%, it's very easy to jump in and have 30% or 0.3 within your reconciliation. Remember, what a reconciliation actually gives you is the next term in the sequence is equal to a times the previous term plus b. So that a value is the multiple of your previous term, so it's what you actually have got. The fact that it decreases by 30% means that you have 70% of the previous amount. That's significant. You've lost 30%, so you're interested in the remaining 70%. Okay, that means that 70% or 0.7 is what's going to be included. initial population, that's what you start with. And if each year 12,000 fish are produced, 12,000 fish are added to the previous year's amount. So that there is your B value. Okay, so from that, I can say that A is equal to 0.7. So 3 different values. I've worked them all out what they are. And the next term in the sequence is 0.7 times the previous one plus 12,000, because that gets added every single time, where my U0 value is 20,000. So that there is describing the sequence that we produced in our content. So part B, again, how many fish after 3 years? Let's put reconciliation into action. So again, working wise will be much the same. U0 is equal to 20,000. My first term in my sequence is 0.7 times U0 plus 12,000. Okay, again, looking at my calculator, I'm going to write into my calculator my U0 value. I'll talk you through it this time. Refer back to the previous couple of examples if you need to be step by step in your calculator. So 20,000 and press equals. I have that stored within my calculator. And then answer shown. So alpha ans times by 0.7 plus 12,000, and that's my calculator set up. So 0.7 times by the 20,000, and if I press my calculator once, I get 26,000. My second term is 0.7 times my first term plus 12,000. 0.7 times the 26,000. So this time 3,200. And my third term times my second plus the 12,000, sorry. 0.7 times 3,200 plus 12,000. Again, all I need to do is press equals, three, 1, 4, 0. So the question says, how many fish after 3 years? After 3 years, there are 33140 fish. And part C, at the end of what year will the total fish exceed 38,000? So my calculator set up, I've not pressed that any further. So after 3 years, I have 33140 fish. After 4, equals tells me 35198. Press it again. U5 is 366. I'm creeping towards my 38,000. U6 is equal to 37,647. And it equals again. I've made the 38. 38,352.914. So at the end of what year will the total fish exceed 38,000? So at the end of year 7, I have a value greater than 38,000. So at the end of year 7, the total fish will exceed 38,000. Okay, so a couple of typical examples of reconciliations can just be the numbers and the values, or it could be in context. Okay, where you need to be able to pull out the values, form your reconciliation, and then answer the questions accordingly. Questions will be on the PowerPoint. Thank you.